So here we got the Bluntzilla Video VHS horror collection overview. We got some random shit. We got some really good stuff. We got some Italian to start off the collection. Autopsy. We got American Werewolf in London. Asylum, which is fucking awesome. Amicus film. We got, this is actually my shit right here on tape. Some different copies of Aliens and Alien. I love those movies. Alice, Sweet Alice, which I talked about, I think, in one of the recent videos, where I was super scared of that image. Still am. Pretty fucking freaked out by that. We got Anaconda, of course. Love Anaconda. Amityville horror films. Some Coffin Joe. We got the Blair Witch Project. I don't have Blair Witch Project Part 2, which is a bummer because more and more I'm becoming a bigger fan of this story, this character. It's awesome. Got some Hitchcock there, Body Snatchers, Boogeyman, the remake, and I got Boogeyman, the original, right here, which is a fucked up movie about mirrors, which I've seen when I was a kid and it really freaked me out. We got some Argento right there. We got some Something Weird video shit. We got Bones, which is a great film with Snoop Dogg, if you've never seen that. We got Blood Feast, some H.G. Lewis, The Blob and the Blob remake, of course, Blade, Black Sabbath, some Mario Bava shit. Children of the Corn. We got The Beyond. Just if we go like that, it'll help out a bit. We got Color Correct My Cock, which is put out by Vagrant Video and Shock Stock. Like this, just a collection of fucked up clips and trailers and stuff. They did a sequel to that, which I have on DVD. Wasn't able to get it on tape, which sucks, but I still fuck with that shit for sure. Shout out Shock Stock, and can't wait for Shock Stock 2020. Got Candyman 1 and 2, and that's crazy because there's a new Candyman film on the way. Got Children of the Living Dead, which is pretty cool. Tom Savini makes an appearance. Got Clown House, of course. This is a screener copy. This is kind of a cool one. I never got to see this, but it's a horror documentary hosted by Jamie Lee Curtis. Still sealed. Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town, which is a fun kind of trauma film. This is weird. This is like classic horror trailers, Volume 3. Crawl Space. I've been meaning to watch this with Klaus Kinski. We got The Dentist. Never watched that shit yet. Got Demons and Demons 2, of course. Dolls I really liked. Dawn of the Dead, of course. Love that shit. One of my favorite horror films of all time. Films in general, actually. Dog Soldiers, been meaning to watch that. The Day the Earth Stood Still. Awesome shit. The Evil Dead trilogy. My favorite is Part 2, I would say, but I love Part 1. I'm a sucker because I love all the funny, fucked up shit that happens in Part 2. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of like horror comedies, to be honest with you. Eaten Alive, which is a Tobe Hooper film starring it doesn't star Robert Englund, he's in it. Really fucked up movie about a guy that runs a motel, and he has like an alligator like in a moat out front. It's crazy. Dead Alive, of course, Peter Jackson. The Exorcist trilogy. Love The Exorcist. Rest in peace to Max van Sydow, who was the priest, not Father Karras. I forget the guy's name, but it's unfortunate he passed away. We got The Entity, which is a 70s film. Moving along, we got Frenzy, which is Hitchcock. We got Food of the Gods. Haven't watched that shit yet. There's a giant rat, and I fucking hate rats. The Funhouse, which is always fun. Tobe Hooper film. The Fly and The Fly 2. Fear.com, which is one of those, like, what was the company called? I forget what the company was called, but I think this is the same company that put out, like, House on Haunted Hill and The Haunting remake and shit like that. They tried to kind of, like, do this thing. 13 Ghosts, I believe, as well. Like, they tried to kind of revamp, like, these old Roger Corman-style films, if you want to call them that. Never heard of this one, but it's called Flashback. Random. This is kind of really random. I found this at a garage sale. It's got Friday the 13th, Part 1, 2, and 3 on it. And there's Part 4, because that's all I really need. Like, I got them on DVD, and I don't watch those films often, so it's no problem. We got Fright Night, sealed. Fright Night Part 2. We got The Gate. I have The Gate one upstairs I've actually just watched for the first time, so that may or may not make a video pretty soon. I was okay with it. I don't think it was like as amazing as I thought it was going to be, but it was still entertaining. This is a film that I got at Shock Stock last year. It's called Guardia del Male. I think it's like an homage to Italian cinema, so that's pretty cool. Speaking of Italian cinema, we got The Gates of Hell, Lucio Fulci, fucking awesome shit. We got some of the Godzilla films. We got the original. We got Godzilla's Revenge, King of the Monsters, which is the same as this tape right here. We got Godzilla versus Megalon, versus King Kong, Mechagodzilla, King Ghidorah, Space Godzilla, Godzilla 85, 2000, another copy of Megalon. Holy fuck. And then the one with Matthew Broderick and fucking Moe from Simpsons. We got Graduation Day, Ghoulies 1 and 2, of course, Graveyard Shift, Larry Cohen film, God Told Me To, which is fucking awesome. This is an Anchor Bay, really badass, like, gatefold. Love those things. Got The Howling, of course. House on Haunted Hill, House of a Thousand Corpses, which is Rob Zombie. First film, fucking awesome shit. We got Hellraiser 1 and 2, of course. Horror Express, which I love. Hound of the Baskervilles, yet to watch that. This is where the chair's coming in, guys. Fuck yeah. I'm going to fucking crouch down and get myself cricked back. Alright, so moving along, we got The Hills Have Eyes, Part 1, followed by Part 2. Got The Devil Bat, put out by Sinister Cinema, which is an awesome name for a company. Another copy of Horror Express. See, I thought I got rid of all the doubles, but obviously not. Here's a cool one with Michael Gough, Horror Hospital, some Dario Argento action, Inferno, I Come in Peace, which I love, Dolph Lundgren, fuck yeah. We got It, I Eat Your Skin, It's Alive, which I just watched recently for the first time. Here's a movie another one from Shock Stock, Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, which I've yet to watch. This is put out by VideoHomicide. I did pick up 2 of them, which I'll get to the other one in a bit. Next we got, of course, some Jaws films. Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, made by the director of Clown House, which is very tainted, but I still like that film. You know, just like I like Thriller still. We got King Kong. This thing used to roar when I was a kid. I remember my dad bought this at the Gibraltar trade flea market, whatever the fuck. We got some German weirdo shit from my uncle's collection. Kiss Me Quick. We got... I just blanked on that. I was like, who is that? It's Jack Nicholson right in front of me. Little Shop of Horrors and the Terror. Lost Boys, of course. Leprechaun. I love Leprechaun. Lord of Illusions. Got some Clive Barker. Leviathan. Let Sleeping Corpses Lie is a film that I've been meaning to check out soon. We got Misery. We got Metropolis, which I love. Madman, which I don't think I really enjoyed that much, although I watched it with a group of people and we were kind of like bullshitting and talking the whole time. So next we got some Manhunter, which is dope. The Mask, which is a Canadian film. Night of the Living Dead, New Nightmare. Night of the Living Dead, the Tom Savini remake. Night of the Creeps, of course. The Omen 2, the Omen 4. Here's a weird one I haven't watched yet. It's called The Outing. Pinocchio's Revenge, which is fucking pretty nuts. Psycho the remake, Psycho 3 on beta. Poltergeist 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 3. 3's in there, tucked away. Predator, of course. We got Planet of the Vampires, which I like. Pet Sematary 1 and 2, I like both of those. Psychomania, one of them's a double. Again, Plague of the Zombies, Possession by, I can't pronounce that guy's name, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, Sam Neill's in this. I did watch this, but honestly, I passed out, so I can't really say that I fully watched it. Popcorn, still haven't watched that. Return of the Living Dead on beta, which is dope. Here's that other VideoHomicide release. This is Runaway Nightmare, which is cool. Stick that in there between RoboCop and RoboCop 3. This is actually beta. Stephen King's Night Shift collection, Volume 2. I believe I have Volume 1 somewhere, but I could be wrong. Soylent Green, which is great. Charlton Heston. Sleepy Hollow, awesome film. Sisters of Death, haven't watched that yet. Saw on VHS. I didn't know that made it onto VHS. Spider Baby, crazy movie with Sid Haig. Salem's Lot, of course. Shivers, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 3. 2000 Maniacs, and a sealed copy of 2000 Maniacs by H.G. Lewis, which I love. Okay, moving on to the final shelf of this wall. I'm going to get to the vampire films, because I don't know if you've noticed or not, but there's been no vampire films on this wall, because I have them all in a secluded select section. Excuse me. So down here we got The Swarm, Tales from the Crypt, the Bordello Blood, and Demon Knight. We got Tomb of the Blind Dead, Return of the Blind Dead, Trilogy of Terror, Tales from the Hood, of course, Them, The Thing, and the Thing on Beta, Terminator, Tombs of the Blind Dead, which is a redemption copy, 13 Ghosts, Threads, which I've been meaning to watch, Terror Train, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a bunch of those. The Undead. We got Vamp. Really liked Vamp. The Wicker Man, which is good. War of the Worlds. Westworld. What Happened to Solange. Or What Have They Done to Solange. I've been meaning to watch that. For some reason, Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 is right there. It should be up there. And then we got some Fulci. Different editions of Zombie. And a movie called Zombie Nightmare and Zombie High. So that's it for like the main shelf. And then over here I got all my this is actually all the horror DVD mixed in with like some Blu-rays. I don't have a whole shitload of Blu-rays, but that's all horror. And there's some box sets. Kind of like did this thing where I put all the box sets together just to see how it would look. But right here's all the I should also mention, Frankenstein and Dracula. We got a shitload. I'm trying to read them through the little screen, but that's not going to work. We got Andy Warhol's Frankenstein. The Frankenstein with Randy Quaid. Young Frankenstein. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. Curse of Frankenstein, which is the first in the Hammer series. Lady Frankenstein. First run video for now. This is the one with Carrie Fisher. I believe this is the one that my uncle really likes. Got Count Yorga, Shadow of the Vampire, which is a crazy film where it's about the making of Nosferatu, with John Malkovich being the director, and F.W. Murnau and Willem Dafoe keeps creeping into my life, being the Max Schreck character. Dracula Undead, Hammer, Martin, fucking awesome. Bram Stoker's Dracula by Francis Ford Coppola, pretty dope. Horror of Dracula, which is the first in the Hammer Dracula series. I think I got all the Hammer Draculas here on tape. Count Dracula, Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, Satanic Rites of Dracula, Horror of Dracula again, Embrace of the Vampire, Grave of the Vampire, The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, which is cool to mention. This is a cross. Oh fuck, the cover's kind of coming out, but this is a cross between mashup studio picture with Shaw Brothers and Hammer. So you get your kung fu. This is a great Anchor Bay release. Vampires, John Carpenter. Night Hunter, which is like a film I've yet to watch, but it's got Don the Dragon Wilson in it. Blackula Part 2, Dracula 2000, Dracula Rising, Grampire, which is god-awful, Dracula Dead and Loving It, kind of funny, Vampire in Brooklyn, I love, Vampire by Kino Video, and Dracula Prince of Darkness. And I should also point out that over here in the homemade, or the, excuse me, I got heartburn like a motherfucker right now, and all the hell is it called? All the tapes that my dad made, there is Blood of Dracula's Castle, and Blackula, and Day of the Dead, and like this shelf will get its own video, so stay tuned for that. Also, I forgot to mention we got these Universal flicks right here, which is this is the releasing edition that I remember that I grew up with. So, Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Mummy's Hand, The Mummy's Tomb, The Mummy. Love The Mummy. Even though arguably they're not like the best of films, like people argue that it's like the same kind of thing over and over, and I agree. But I got to point out that I really love the Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser. Like, I'm a big fucking fan of that. So even the sequel, I don't mind the sequel. I just hate the kid. I'm trying to look for it on my shelf right now, but I don't see it. I know I have like a kind of like a oh, there it is right there. Got the 3-pack. Fuck yeah, I paid $5 for that. Probably a pawn shop, either a pawn shop or a thrift store. But Phantom of the Opera, The Wolfman, Frankenstein, and Dracula. So yeah, that's it. I appreciate everybody for watching, and if you don't, get yourself a Leonard Maltin fucking movie guide. Check out the Blundzilla video Instagram and Facebook page. I appreciate anybody that subscribes, leave a comment, all that kind of shit, and thanks a lot. Adios.